Here's part 3 as to why did I cut my mother off permanently and why I refuse to acknowledge her for Mother's Day. Go back and watch the last 2 videos. I'm doing a series up until Mother's Day. Mother's Day is Sunday, May 12th, and this only applies to those of you that have an abusive, narcissistic mother. Again, I will say this. If you grew up with a good mom and you had a great upbringing, please keep your comments to yourself. It is very insensitive to those of us who were abused. It's like you're rubbing it in our faces that you had a better upbringing. Please respect those of us that have survived and are still coping with the pain and trauma that our abusive mothers have caused us. And I will say too, do not get in my comment section and gaslight me by telling me that I need to forgive. I have forgiven my mother. However, it's a lot of abusive people that get annoyed by my videos because I trigger them because they're guilty of the same abuse. So they'll get in my comment section and say, you need to forgive your mother. You need to get over it. You only have one mother, one father. Listen, she's forgiven. But just because you forgive your abuser does not mean you have to reconnect or build a new relationship with them. And that's what abusers want. They want access to their victims. They want the victim to forgive so that they can come back into the victim's life to re-abuse them again. I will block you if you start your shit in my comment section. I have spoken. Now, this is part 3. I'm telling different stories about what my mother has done to me all throughout my childhood up until now. And this is to validate you. You're not alone. You don't have to suffer alone. And if you're wondering whether or not you should contact your mother for Mother's Day, don't. I have not spoken to my mother in over 15 years, and I will never speak to her ever again. Okay, I don't care if she's in the hospital. I don't care if she goes into a nursing home. I'm not angry or bitter. I'm just done with her. I am indifferent. Okay, I'm paying her dust. And if you're a terrible parent, I'm going to tell y'all something. This is what people don't understand. If you mistreat your children and abuse your children, when your children become adults, they are going to return that same energy. And a narcissistic mother and a narcissistic father, they are in denial. They lack accountability. They don't understand why you just won't get over it. And their punishment is you ignoring them for the rest of their lives. And you allow God to deal with them. So here is part 3 to my series. This is the 3rd story. I'm going to talk about how my mother called CPS on me. I am a mother, and my relationship with my daughter is much different than the relationship I had with my mother. Me and my daughter are very close. My daughter is 23 years old, and we're like this, okay? I'm not a perfect mother. I have my flaws, my issues, but I have an open relationship where I talk to my daughter, and I allow her to express how she feels, and she's allowed to point out my flaws so that she can hold me accountable. Much different between me and her than it was with me and my mother. When my baby was just 2 years old, my mother called CPS on me. CPS is Child Protective Services. Now, this is something very common that narcissistic women do. These types of female narcissists are very vindictive. They love to prank call the police. They will call the police, with fake police reports. They'll send the police to your house to do a fake mental wellness check. They'll call Child Protective Services. They are very crafty when they're alone, causing chaos. They get on the telephone and gossip, and they stir up problems, and they use coercive control to cause problems in other people's lives. So if your mother's a narcissist and she's ever picked up the phone to gossip about you or call the police or Child Protective Services to try to cause harm to you, this story is for you. My daughter had a developmental disability, and I had her placed in a specialized school, a daycare, where she could get the treatment and therapy that she needed for her developmental disability. Now, at the time, like I said, single mother. I was in college full time. I had an excellent job, a nice car, doing well for myself as a single mother, not getting child support from her trifling father. Again, my mother, I was living in upstate New York at the time, Albany, New York. My mother was living all the way in Delaware, 4 hours away from Albany, okay? She's in the state of Delaware. Peep this. I moved into a studio apartment, small apartment, just big enough for me and my baby. My baby is a toddler. So my baby slept with me in my bed, okay? I don't have a man, nobody else living with me. It's just me and my baby. And considering that I'm paying all the bills by myself, I'm in college, I felt that a studio apartment was perfect enough for me and my baby. Now I have a younger sister, and at the time I didn't realize how fucking evil my sister was. See, if you have a narcissistic sister or brother, they're very two-faced, they're very passive aggressive. They'll try to get close to you and play like they want to have this close, loving sibling relationship. But what they're actually doing when they get close to you is they're trying to get in your personal business. They're trying to learn all your secrets, anything going on in your life, so that they can take all your personal business and run it back to your narcissistic mother. They're going to tell all your business. So they're actually siding with your parent, but they're going to play like they're on your side. They play both sides of the fence, but they're really for your narcissistic mother. So me being the older sister, inviting my sister to come, spend the weekend with me in my new studio apartment, because I thought we were close. I love my sister. And, when she gets away from my mother, again, she acts like, she can't stand my mother. She acts like she wants this close sister relationship with me. And we get along great when she's not with my mother. So again, she leaves Delaware to come to upstate Albany to come spend the weekend with me in my brand new studio apartment. We have a great time. She spends time with my daughter. We have a great, fantastic time. I thought everything was great the whole weekend. She goes back to Delaware once the weekend is over to go back with my mother. Come to find out, my sister sat up and told my mother that I live in a raggedy apartment and that I had no food in my cabinets, talked about me like a fucking dog to my mother. So in return, what my mother does, and by the way, my baby is the first grandchild. This is my mother's first and only grandchild at the time. I'm a brand new mother. So, as a new mother, I was not receiving love and support from my mother and family. They liked to watch me struggle because she could not control me. So based on the information that my sister ran back to my mother when she went back to Delaware, my mother decided to call Child Protective Services all the way from Delaware. She didn't even come to Albany and see my new apartment, see how me and my daughter was living. Yes, we had plenty of food. Yes, the apartment was adorable. It's cute. It's perfect. Why would my sister be vindictive and go back and run her mouth to my mother? It's beyond me, unless she's fucking jealous or just fucking hateful. But anyway, my mother, being spiteful, took that information that my sister, told her, relayed back to her. And my mother decided to call Child Protective Services from Delaware and report everything. She told Child Protective Services that my apartment was horrible without seeing my apartment for herself. She told Child Protective Services that I didn't have any food. My daughter was starving. All these fucking lies, okay? Filed a fake fucking report just to spite me and hurt me. Now, I have a daughter. My daughter's 23 right now. She doesn't have kids, but if my daughter were to be a single parent and I saw my daughter struggling, I would pitch in. I love my daughter. I would help her. I would help her with everything. I would help her, with babysitting, help her with her bills, be a pillar of strength to support my daughter as a new mother. I didn't get that with my mother. My mother was too busy being a spiteful fucking bitch trying to tear me down as a new mother so she could have something to gossip about to family and everybody else. Like I said, the social worker had interviewed all my daughter's teachers. Then she popped up to my house to inspect my house. Sure enough, she thought the apartment was perfect. It was cute. There was plenty of food, obviously, in my home. Then she sat me down and she said, listen, when people make prank calls to Child Protective Services, we still got to investigate. Then she said, wait a minute, I know you from somewhere. Don't you go to my church? And she told me what church she goes to. And I said, yeah, we go to the same church. She said, you know what? I'm going to close this case in 2 weeks. There's nothing to worry about. Keep doing what you do. You have a good job. You're in school. You're doing the best you can as a single mother. Your daughter's beautiful. Her teachers gave you an amazing review as a single mother. You're good. So the ditch that my mother dug for me, she fucking fell in it herself trying to hurt me. It backfired, fucking bitch. This is my book, I Can't Stand My Mother. It's available on Amazon. Click the link in my bio. Get it before Mother's Day. You'll get it in time. It'll help you heal from narcissistic abuse that you suffered at the hands of your mother. Thank you.